Mic check. 1, 2. Uh, oh, this shit is working. Yeah, I should get a webcam. That's actually Heidi. Anyways, what's good? This is Nahian, aka Young Deshi, rapper, producer extraordinaire. At least that's what people call me nowadays. But yeah. Well, this is a segment I like to call Music Review Mondays, where I will be reviewing albums, mainly hip hop albums, because I'm into hip hop. I'm such a hip hop stan, to be honest. But yeah. Anyways, let's get right into it. Um, First album I'm gonna be reviewing on here. It's first review, my first time doing a review. But anyway, first album will be the Logic's Under Pressure album that just came out a couple weeks ago. Yeah, definitely is definitely a great hip hop album of the year. Well, I shouldn't say of the year, but it's a great hip hop album nonetheless. It's honestly like quality hip hop hasn't been uh hasn't been really prevalent this past year until like at least in the early part of the year. But yeah, definitely a good, a good album from beginning to end. Played it straight through, listened to all the records on there, all the tracks from top to bottom. I really could not really skip any of the songs because they were just that good for the most part. Um, Definitely so I'll go ahead and go in on the intro. The intro track was definitely it was the intro was alright. The piano in the beginning was good. Kind of like leading into his whole perspective on how he always this feels like he feels like he's made it to finally where he wants to be in his career, or at least at least in a good spot where he is right now. I'm sure he's probably trying to gonna push the envelope even more, but as far as right now, he's looking pretty good. Trying to solidify his spot in the hip hop world. Yeah, definitely a good intro to start out with, and onwards to what was the name of the other track? I forgot. After the intro, shit. Yes, what the fuck I hate doing this shit. uh, Soul Food, Soul Food. Yeah, Soul Food was dope. Definitely dope. Dope production. I think No ID did like the orchestration on that, on most of the executive produced the album. Uh, but yeah, no. Soul Food was also a great record. Definitely something that the album really kind of sounded. That's when it started for me. Sounded a bit more. Started to go like a little Kendrick Lamar ish type of route, and it did in a way. Yeah, that's the album as a whole. Soul Food was a dope album. Dope song. I'm Gone. Yeah, I'm Gone was very. I'm Gone was good. Talking about his sister being actually, was that the one with his sister? I think. Yeah, I think yeah, he definitely was really personal on this album. From his whole being brought up in a, his dad selling drugs and his mom being an addict or whatever, and his sister, being his whole thing with his sister and stuff. Uh, Definitely something. a very personal album, from for him, and that's one of the things I like about uh, some of my this is one of the reasons why I like this album, because it's very personal. You get to know like what he's going through in his life and things he's gone through, the positives and the negatives, more of the negatives, but still being able to uh, not actually crack under the pressure of all the negativity of of everything. Um, yeah, definitely. So I'm Gone, gang related, was definitely a good story. Yeah, just him riding with his boys, and then all of a sudden, carrying around, doing like, random. I really don't want to say hood rat shit, but in a way, it is kind of hood rat shit. But still, just him, basically, him talking about his boys and all that stuff. Buried Alive, definitely one of my personal favorite tracks. Him talking about his whole identity, people knowing him for as Logic, like the rapper, but not really knowing. Not That's what most people prefer, conceive him as, uh, just an entertainer, in a way, like an entertainer, rapper, the rapper, lyricist, whatever you want to call it, but not knowing him personally as a human being or as a person or who he really is. Um, you know, and that's him. I think his first name is Bobby or Robert or something like that. He did explain it and he does explain it in this one. Basically, the more fame he's getting, the more fame that he's getting, people knowing him as the MC, the rapper, but not really as the more fame that he's getting as the rapper, the less and less people know about him as the person that he is. That's definitely a something. Bounce, yeah, Bounce is probably one of my favorite songs on there. I like Bounce because definitely something different. Like the AT Aliens album from Outkast definitely has an influence on this, especially on Bounce. Like the whole weird voice, the the alien type of voice, pitches, and all that stuff. Um, Growing Pains 3, yeah, that's definitely a very introspective joint. Never Enough is like like a yeah, definitely Never Enough was definitely sounded that reminded me, well, not, I don't want to sound, but reminded me of Kendrick's, was it thing, Hold Up, from Kendrick's Section 80, back in 2011. It definitely has an influence. So that Metropolis, I don't even remember that record to be honest. The single though, Under Pressure, was a dope single. I like Under Pressure, definitely, especially the production, the breaks, and like that first part, you know, definitely high. It was a good single to put out as the single. Um, High octane, blah blah blah. Single, up tempo, and then the second part a little more cool, introspective. The phone calls, you know, from his sister, his dad, and all that stuff, and all the personal things he's going through. Um, what was that? Oh shit, I skipped one. Nicki, definitely. His whole nicotine addiction. He was referring to as Nicki. That's so a lot of people have been wondering what that was about. Like, oh, who's Nicki? That he be posting up, and some of his fans I've seen commenting on YouTube and stuff. Oh, who's Nicki? Blah blah blah, and then goes into the Nicki song on the album. Him talking about his addiction from nicotine. Is what who Nicki really is. Till the end, Till the End was a good outro to end the album. Of course, as far like the standard album, definitely, on the standard edition. Of course, I got the deluxe edition, so there's 3 more tracks after this. After that was Driving Miss Daisy featuring Childish Gambino. That probably my favorite record on that on the whole album. Definitely something different than what we used than what I'm used to hearing from Logic. Yeah, especially when Gambino killed his verse. That whole Kim, that line he said about Kim and Kanye in the parking lot. So something along those lines. I don't remember the exact line, but just yeah, that shit was crazy. Now, all right, uh, yeah, all right, featuring Big Sean. Yeah, it's more of like the come up type of ish. Overall, yeah, but I don't really remember too much about it, but those last two, but that's like sounding wise, I do remember like sonically it was something I could hear on the radio. This is some of these songs are definitely things songs I could hear on the radio being played, and I don't know why it's not on the radio. Well, at least not down here in South Florida. They should definitely play it. Um, some of these records. But yeah, overall, yeah, the production, like the concept was definitely Kendrick influence in a way. I remember he even said in the interview he wanted to take it to a Kendrick Lamar route, uh, not Kendrick Lamar route, but like a good Kid Mad City type of vibe to it. As far as like him giving his story, like this is basically him giving his story. What even though he in his mixtapes he'll give you like little glimpses, even though the mixtapes was more for like the mainstream, just turning up and displaying why he's better than you as an MC, as a lyricist, blah blah blah, and all that stuff. But yeah, the album is definitely a personal album. I personally like albums that are very introspective. To be honest, the introspective albums are some of my favorite albums. So yeah, that definitely an introspective album. Definitely for like the real hip hop heads, like that are really into like real. Well, not I don't want to say real, but quote unquote real hip hop. What people say nowadays, from the whole lyrics, delivery, flow, making, all that stuff. Um, yeah, overall good, dope album. Productions on point. Produced. Yeah, is mostly produced by like his himself and his in-house producer. I think his name is Six. For the most part, the other production on here from DJ Khalil, Swift D, and all them. But yeah, overall it's a good album, great album. Would I say album of the year? Not, I don't know. Still has to be debatable. Hip hop album of the year has been kind of a slow year for hip hop today, but I know it's gonna get pick up soon in the later of the years. I mean, later in the later of the at the end of the year, definitely in November and end of November, December ish. Um, yeah, that's pretty much my take on it. Good album, great concept. Definitely one of my favorite projects from Logic. Yeah, if you want to go out and cop it, you can cop it right now on iTunes. Also, and not just that, if you want to go check my team's music out as well, we also make hip hop. We're like a hip hop slash comedy. Also, don't forget to check out OP5 TV on YouTube, youtube.com/slash OP5 TV. We have our project out, regular mixtape, out on iTunes, Amazon, Google Play, Spotify. You can stream it on Spotify for free. Like you just gotta on search Operation 5 a.m. or search regular mixtape. We should be on there. Um, yeah, yeah, definitely good album, dope album. Logic Under Pressure. Support it if you want to support it. And Don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube as well. Young Deshi, at Young Deshi. Um, Music videos, music in general. You know, just me doing what I love doing. I write, make beats every day, so you know, come check me out as well. Um, gonna be trying to do these music reviews every Monday, so we'll see what happens. This is the first review, so anywho, alright, so later, y'all. Peace.